Hey guys, now in today's video, we're taking a look at the brand new Roborock S8 Max V Ultra. This is the third generation of Roborock products that we've looked at on our channel, and this has to be my favorite. It's packed with features, it is ultra quiet, and it's also super compact and does things no other robot has. Let's go and check it out. Now, the S8 Max V Ultra is a very unique robot in the Roborock line because it has this corner sweep technology that allows it not just to sweep in extreme corners, but it's also giving you the ability to mop as well. And that is something that is super unique. It has the whisker itself that is sweeping on the floor, actually has the ability to go into the corners, as well as has a little mop head that also does, giving you very close mop and sweep, as close as 1.6 millimeters. That's super close. It also is very powerful. The suction is 10,000 PAs, and they've upgraded and improved the actual roller itself. It has a dual roller that is able to capture, they claim, up to 99% of pet hair and all these other type of debris that it's picking up. Now, the actual roller, the actual mop, the vibration mop, and this new tech that kind of extends itself has the ability to rise, to lift itself up. And we'll talk about this a little bit in a couple minutes, but 20 millimeters of rise that basically allows it to ride on a carpet and not wet it, or just adjust itself as it's going on it. So pretty powerful solution, right? And it also then has this React AI 2.0, which is really going to help it as it's navigating. This is the obstacle avoidance technology. Now, we have a first generation, I call it the first generation, but it is a pre-release version that we've been testing, and the actual firmware is being updated continually. So what we've been seeing is really good response from this. And frankly, for me, the Roborock line has done really well in our home as it navigates our home, identifies, for example, shoes, dog toys, cables, even, dog poop. So it has a really good job of doing all that stuff. And I expect that this next version will do the same as we see the next firmware upgrades. It has the Vibra Rise technology, which is the vibration that it does on the pads, version 3.0. And this is going to vibrate 4,000 times a minute. So it has a mop pad that as it's moving, it's actually scrubbing your floor. And it also has the ability to detect dirt, and it's going to be able to make sure that it gets those places really well. We tested this with, broken, shredded, I would say almost cereal dust, which we also then wanted to see if it could get through the cracks, our grout lines as well, and pick that stuff up. And it did a fantastic job cleaning this stuff up and also lifting it itself. Now, this edge mop detection that we're talking about, right, that we talked about just a couple seconds ago, actually, it has a little wheel that's rotating, and the thing rotates 185 RPM. That's super fast. So you think about this little thing going around, scrubbing everything for you. Now, it has several compartments for you to store all of your debris. 2.5 liter dustbin, which is going to be able to cover you for weeks, if not months to go. 4.4 liter actually cleaning water tank, which allows you to fill it up once and then run it for several days. A 3.5 liter dirty water tank, which is what it's going to do as it actually cleans itself. And this is another standout feature because it has the ability to mop wash and mop dry at 60°C. So that means that the mop itself gets wiped down and washed. It has like a little scrubber system, and it's doing it using heated water. And then when it dries it, it does an air dry. This is super important. If you have a smelly mop pad, you can have smelly floors. I've always said this. So I love the fact that it's clean. They look like new every single time you use it because of this cleaning solution. The battery itself is 5,200 milliamp hours, which is going to give you around 180 minutes of runtime. And the noise level, well, this thing is very quiet. We're talking about 67 dB. That is super quiet. Now, the Roborock S8 Max V Ultra is a really compact robot, but is packed with features as you saw. You have two water containers, one for your clear, one for your dirty water. We'll pull one of these out so you can see what it looks like. So this is the dirty water container. And simply by opening it up right here, you're able to really get rid of all the dirty water. And it's kind of hard to see with this one because they actually have it like with the gray tint to show the dirty water, but it is dirty. It does a really nice job of picking up the dirt. Now over here, you'll notice that it has the connections that actually put the dirty water as it's cleaning the mop pads. So we'll go ahead and put this guy back. The cold water, or actually the clean water, is feels a little bit larger, but just slightly. And again, this is going to be something that you'll be able to fill up really easily with water. And it has also the same type of connection or similar connection in the back. You'll notice that as I removed them both, there was a little indicator change here. It went from being blue to red because it does know when you have your tanks connected. Now, one of the things I like about the new versions, I'm going to get on the floor here for a second, is the fact that this compartment right here has two things going on for it. First of all, this is your dustbin, right? So this is going to collect all the dust. But then what I really like is, and I've been seeing this in a lot of robots, is this right here. Now, what you're seeing here is a detergent cartridge. What I like about this so much is that this is not a proprietary detergent cartridge. You can refill this with detergent. And just once you've refilled it, you just slap it right in and you're set to go. Now the S8 Max V Ultra has changed quite a bit from the bottom. First of all, you have this really nice double roller system that's going to capture a lot of the hair, over 99% of your pet hair. You do have your vibration pad that does a fantastic job of cleaning, again, the floor, and it also has dirt detection. You have this area right here. This is another little pad that comes out to get the corners. And not only does this come out to clean the corners, but you also have your whiskers for sweeping also comes out to hit the corners. It also, as you know, uses warm water for cleaning up to 60°C. And it also then keeps this nice and clean. I've used this now at least 5 to 10 times, and this still looks brand new as it cleans it and it makes sure that it doesn't have any kind of smell to it. And that's one of the important things of having any kind of robot that is self-cleaning. You don't want a pad that smells, because if you have a pad that smells, you've heard me say this before, you have a floor that smells. Now, once you remove the cover of the robot, you have a couple things going on here. You have a QR code, which is what you use to register the robot. You have the dustbin, but this little portable dustbin, you'll probably never use it because it just self-empties based on how your preferences are set on the app into the larger one. But you know that you have one here as well. Now, one welcome change that I see with this series is that the robot mops are now inside of the bay as opposed to be facing outwards. I like that a lot. The previous robots had to pull out, turn around, and come back in. Now, because it has the drying feature and it also has, again, those new cleaning features with heat, you basically have your mop pads are in place. So when you start it up to clean, you don't have to go through the process of watching the robot come out, turn around, and then back in. Now, the docking station has also had some major upgrades as well. So first of all, this is where the robot would come in, and there's a couple things going on here. You have a roller right here that moves left to right that's going to clean your pad. This has been doing its job of cleaning, and one of the things I'll tell you is that this is clean. There's literally no water in here at all, and I feel no debris in here either, which I absolutely love. So your robot will come in here. What will happen is this scrubber right here is going to make sure that your mop pad gets nice and clean. It will wash it and it will dry it, and it doesn't leave anything left, which I absolutely love. All right, so the robot is coming out and it's going over our first area. Let's see how well it does cleaning that up. And remember, all we've done is we've defined this small area here as our cleaning area. And let's see if it's able to identify that cable. It passed right by it. Oh, it saw it now. Let's see what it does. I run this test twice because sometimes hardwood floors could mask the cables, and then only the cable is visible on white tile or lighter tile. So I wanted to see how well it did, and that's purposely why I choose a dark cable. I could choose a white cable as well, but well, check it out. It went around it, and now it's seeing the next obstacle. And actually, on the app, it's identified that there's a cable there. Well, it didn't identify the actual piece that we put there, which is a hose extension for refilling cables. It did leave it behind, but it did see the cable. So it's taking care of that area. So it looks like that hose is something that it may have identified as a pen or something, but you can see how it's cleaning everything up right there. All right, so it seems to clearly not be able to identify what's going on with this guy right here. So I'm just gonna step on him, take him out of the way, take him out of the picture. It wasn't able to identify
this and avoid it, but it's doing everything else. And you can see on screen now, you can see on screen what the robot is doing, the area that it's cleaning, and then also the fact that I identified the cable. I'm going to tap on that, and you notice that it has, again, wire, cable wire, preventing preventing that area from being cleaned. And you can see what the snapshot looks like. So here it's working through the specific area that I've defined. Now the other thing that you'll notice is that as it's going on the floor, it's not really leaving a massive amount of liquid on the floor, which is also really important because this could actually damage your floor. Yeah, you will notice, and we'll go ahead and pan a little bit this way, that that little arm does come out occasionally, right? And it's now completed cleaning, and it's going to go back to the dock. We're going to have it go through an obstacle course next. All right, so now in this test, we have somewhat of an obstacle course that we're going to have the robot go through, and it should do the same identification. You notice that I put the cord there as well to let it see the cord, and then we have some cups to see if it will identify that the cups are in place. So we'll see how well it does in this area. The other thing I put was some more cereal on the ground, and I want to see how well it does with the cracks or the grout lines. So you'll notice it did identify the actual cords, but now we have cups there. Let's see what it does with the cups. All right, so it's tapping the cup. And this is an early firmware, by the way, guys. So just to be fair, so I could expect that this robot's just going to improve more and more. And what we're looking at is the edge capabilities. I also have a scooter right here on the side, so I have larger obstacles as well that it's going to have to make its way through. Let's see how well it does in this corner right here as it gets itself kind of locked in. Oh, that's doing nicely there. Look at that. Navigating all the way around it. Wow, that's nice. All right, we'll follow the robot to see the area that it's covering. We should see some of that edge, really extreme edge cleaning taking place. There it saw the cup. It's trying to avoid it, but the whiskers are actually grabbing it. So it's having a hard time with that. I think that the robot itself is doing well. It's the whiskers that are so long that are just pushing the cup slightly as it's going through the process. You can see that little wheel on the side just pop out right there. Then again, that's that extreme edge cleaning. Let's see how well it does with our cereal. Clearly, it's having a problem with our cups. Now, I do have a Roborock previous version, last year's version. Actually, I have 2 generations. This will be the 3rd here. And the other 2, as they navigate through this, would never touch the cups. That's why I'm saying this has to do with the current version of the firmware. So I expect it to get a lot better once the firmware continues to update, since this is such an early version of the unit. All right, you see it sees it. It's the whisker that moves the cup. And that's where I think it's confusing the robot somewhat, because the whiskers are moving it from where it saw it in its original location. And you notice how it just continues to push it. Now, as we switch back to the app, a couple things that we're seeing here. You can see the detection that it had of the cables right there that we put on there. Here we have the fact that there I am. It saw the cup in place. Over here, it notices that it's running into some other items right here. These are the 2 cups that it ran into. Here's the other cup. So it's identified that one as well. So the AI, the obstacle avoidance, is seeing it. It's the whiskers that are moving the items across. And once again, I'm working on the edge, actually the zone area as part of its cleaning cycle. The other thing that you'll notice is that it has a line. And for me, the line is almost like it indicates the sweeping pattern. And then what you see as the cloud that leaves behind it is the cleaning, the liquid that's going through the area. So we're going to go ahead and see how well it does picking up the rest of that cereal as it's going through the sweeping and mopping process. So far I can tell you on the tile, it's just leaving just enough moisture on the tile to clean, but it's not leaving a huge puddle. All right, so now it's going over that last part of the cereal, and let's see if it picked it up. and it did it without a problem. Very nice.
Now you saw how well the robot did with its cleaning. The only challenge that we saw was that the whiskers are long and it did interfere with the cups, but it wasn't because the robot itself was crashing into it. So this is feedback that I'll give the team at Roborock. The app also has tremendous features, and it's one of my favorite apps when it comes to robots that are of this type that will clean your home and the floors. And a couple things that I just wanted to highlight here. First of all, you do have what I love, routines, shortcuts, a lot of features here that are going to make cleaning of your home really easy and simple. So first of all, I just wanted to show you a couple things I have going on here. So I do have, for example, a cleaning zone that I can map, and you can see where the robot last cleaned. I can set up temporary walls, so you can see this wall right here that I've built up. So that means that the robot would take care of either a section, a room, as you can see. So you can see the option on the bottom for full. You can say, I want to clean a room, and you'll notice that it kind of like changes the colors, right? So here, for example, I have the corridor is what I've labeled it. And because I have this wall here, it's not going to go past that wall, right? That barrier that I put in there. I could do a zone, right? And we'll tap there. And the zone allows you to draw an area that you want to be able to take care of. Or what you could do is you can set up a routine, right? And with the routines, you're going to be able to do a combination of things. You're going to be able to define an area that you'd like to work in. And then also it becomes a one-button click. And I'm going to show you how I've done that with my other robot. Over here, if we take a look at the dock, you'll notice that you have clean water tank. It's giving you statuses, right? Dirty water tank, dustbin. And then it's telling me that I'm low on detergent, so I have to fill that up to get more detergent. Dock settings here, you can see, the wash frequency, dustbin, auto open, duration of the drying feature that it has. You have smart hot water for the washing mode. And if I click on this, you can see that you have there's just so much stuff that you can configure here, right? Your empty mode. And then if you go into more, you'll be able to see, again, the ability to configure all these things all in one area. And let's go ahead. One of the things I really like is that if you are moving the robot or want to just empty it out, you do have right here where you have this pump, which is start pumping. It says use the drain this is used to drain the remaining water that you may have in the tank. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I typically would take out the tank and I pour it out. So it's a cool thing that it's there, but I really don't do a lot of that. All right, let's go ahead and go back for a second. And I want to show you what else we have going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and you can see all the robots I have, right? So I have several of their robots, including the Dyad Pro, which is something I really love. It's a really nice robot too. So here, there's also some other options, right? So you notice that it did identify some furniture. So I tapped it and it saw my sofa. It saw my TV unit here at the very top. And it doesn't look like it's seen anything else. It hasn't detected any kind of bed, but you can see how it tries to place that. So I'm going to go ahead and then just save those furniture items so that it has it in the map. So you can see how it added that. You do have the ability to use the actual, almost like a sentry mode, which is that little camera that you see right there. I don't really use that feature right now, but it's good if you're not home and you want to be able to see what's going on in your home with using that camera that's right there. You can edit your maps, and you'll notice here there's several things that we can do. No-go zone, edit furniture. You can edit the room. You can edit the surface. And the one thing I don't know if you guys have noticed that, and let's go back to this map for a second, but you'll notice how this is going this way. It actually knows that this is wood surface. And then over here, it knows that it's tile. Notice how it's different in shape. So what you could do is if for whatever reason it is not detecting that it has the right surface, you can actually change that, right? So let's go into map details. You could also choose 3D. And I'm going to go ahead and move it to 3D so you can see how it's picking things up here. And the cool thing about this is that it's pretty accurate, right? So I do have a sofa here. Over here I have another sofa. And the area that it sees right here that's like a TV area, it's actually my fireplace, but I have something sitting on top of it. So it's probably confusing it and it's think that's a TV. And then over here, I have another TV. I actually have a ultra short throw projector right there. But you can see how all this setup is. And again, how well it's been able to identify my floor. Now I want to show you the power of the routines, and you'll notice that with each one of the robots, so you'll see I have my Roborock 7, my Roborock S8, and then we have the new one right there. But you notice that I have the shortcuts here, and I could do this too. So notice I have full clean, I have after meal, but notice right here where I have walkway, level 1, center room. So what you're able to do is you'll be able to configure settings or routines and define certain areas in your home that you want the robot just to focus on and clean. The tiled area is our entryway. That has the most traffic. So what I do is I have the robot routinely either manually or automatically go and clean that area. And I love the ability to be able to set it there too. Now, one other feature I want to share with you that is new with the robot is the fact that it does have voice control, and it's by using the Hello Rocky command. So you can notice here. And this is pretty robust, right, guys? So notice you have clean commands, and it has all the commands that you can have. So you can say, clean here. You can say mop or just mop. You can have dust, the dock control options. Empty the dustbin. You can just say, hello, Rocky, and then tell it what to do. Pause and resume, right? There's some robot settings that you can go here, like if you wanted to have more potency when it's vacuuming. And then also room cleaning commands. Right. So a lot of different commands that you can use, especially if you are someone who wants to use voice. Now, I will say this. My brother is blind, and he uses the voice commands like no joke. He doesn't use the app, and all he does is he walks up to his robots and he just says, hey, do this. And so if you have a family member that has a visual impairment or other disability, the voice commands are a great add. So guys, what do we think about the Roborock S8 Max V Ultra? Well, it's a definite buy for us, and I'll see you in the next video. Or other disability, the voice commands are a great add.